Good morning, everybody. It is Saturday morning. Saturday morning, August the 15th. We are right in the middle of August, everybody. Hard to believe. It is 70 degrees here in Hampstead, Maryland. 5:09, so we're a couple of minutes ahead of time. Not bad. We got all the donuts. There's a lot of donuts. So here's the donut story today. We've got 3 deliveries. We do have some chocolate top cookies that we got to drop off at Gourmet Girls. So we're going to Lenny's. They have a pretty normal delivery. They got a lot of Danish today. They've got 75 chocolate top cookies, I think, which is a pretty good size for them. So that's Lenny's. Then we're going to run down to Gourmet Girls, drop off some chocolate top cookies with I think it's not many. I forget how many, 25 or something? Not a lot, but I guess they were running low on their chocolate top cookies. And then WhatADay has 174 donuts today. 174. So between, I think Lenny's had 4. So like we got 178 donuts in the van. 178, ladies and gentlemen. And then they had an order called in yesterday. Some lady needs to come in today and pick up 150 donuts. So she's cranking out the donuts this morning. She is cranking them out. Let me get this started up. Oh, I put the, look. I put a piece of black tape over that orange spot. So you aren't going to see that anymore. Sorry about that for anybody that was really kind of liking that, you know what I mean? Like if you were focused on that while we were driving along, I apologize for the change. Let me get Rosie going and then we're good. I think we got everything else going. That's the one. Wake up, Rosie. Come on. Here she comes. Here she comes. I feel it. Come on. Come on. What are you doing, Rosie? What are you doing? Okay. It's active in the background. Maybe I didn't turn her off yesterday, because she's looks like Rosie stayed turned on all day long yesterday. That girl was crazy. Here we go. There we go.
Connected to YouTube live stream LJFFCXUOBSG. Connected to YouTube livestream LJFFCXUOBSG.
Thanks, Rosie. Thanks. Good morning. Happy Saturday to you too. All right, so here we go. It is, I already did the time, 70 degrees. I think I said that already. 5:11. 5:11 now. We're still ahead of time. 4 minutes. Here we go. Seatbelt, lights, reverse, pursue happiness. Everything's in sync. I will say this, on my way up to the bakery this morning, I want to say I probably saw 6 to 10 deer in different locations. Like, 3 or 4 times I saw little groups of deer. One time I just saw one. And they're all very little, it's the babies. We had the mating seats. Oh, I was going to wipe the windshield off. Let's do that at Lenny's. We'll see how it looks. It's dark right now, so it doesn't really matter. But let's try to remember that. I'm going to put the... Oh, no. I was going to say I'll put the paper towel on the dashboard, but then that would defeat the whole purpose. Look, I'm trying out my first day without the reflection of the orange box. So we're not going to do that. But yeah, so I saw a lot of deer, and the little ones, they kind of like they're standing at the side of the road. They don't know what to think. They're like, I don't think that's a deer. Yeah, the windshield's I gotta clean the windshield up. But you definitely have that kind of confused look on their face when you go by. They're like, ugh, what is that? Mama said there'd be cars like that. There'd be cars like that. Mama said. But yeah, I really don't want to have any issues with the baby deer particularly, you know what I mean? I think that might just ruin me for the whole day. mean, not to mention, it would probably mess up baby deer's day too. So we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Yeah, the windshield is not clean at all. I think they delivered a cake yesterday. I know that because there was a receipt in the van. So I don't know if that was a wedding cake or not, but they delivered something yesterday evening at 6 p.m. I was at the bakery till 2 yesterday. And then I went to the admissions. So that was interesting. So just to recap, the previous story on the admissions was I went to get my admissions test done, and I went to the kiosk, which is open 24 hours. So I went there. I've done it before. You know, you plug the thing into your car and it reads it, and then it gives you the report, and you're good for a year. The state gets their $30, and you get, no, I think you pay $26 if you go to the kiosk. It's $30 if you use the attendant. So it just printed out a report that said, hey, there's something goofy about what we read. There's something wasn't right. We didn't get a good reading. So come back in a week. That's what the report said. Come back in a week. So it's been like, that was like 3 weeks ago. So I finally went back. And I didn't go to the kiosk this time. I went to the attendant. And he did the test. And then it prints out, and he's looking at it, and I knew what he was reading, because I figured it must have, it's not a fail. I didn't fail the test. It just couldn't read. It connected to the car, but it couldn't read whatever it needs to read. So, and that's what he told me. He's like, yeah, you didn't fail. You didn't fail. I said, I know, because I got one of these a few weeks ago. He's like, I said, well, did you just get work done on the car? And I said, no. And he said, well, okay. I said, well, so I wait another week? What do I do? And he said, yeah, you can wait another week and then come back. Or you could go in there and talk to the guy. I'm glad I did this. So I pulled it off to the side. I went into the office and I talked to the guy. And he was very nice. Very nice. So kudos to Maryland State Admissions. This was in Owings Mills, Maryland. Super nice guy. He said this happens usually it happens like after somebody has had work done on the car. There's something can be reset, and apparently there's some counter in there so that after it's reset, it takes 21. Like you have to start the car and run the car 21 times before the test will work. I didn't know that, but anyway. But I hadn't had any work done. So I told him, I'm like, well, I tried this like 3 weeks ago, and I got the same report, and I had a copy of that with me. And he said, well, you could wait another week. He said, it's probably something that needs to be corrected, by a mechanic. Like they have to go in and look at it. So he said you could come back in a week, or I can extend because I'm actually already past the expiration date. Like I was supposed to have this done, I don't know, I was supposed to have it done right around the time I tried the test the last time, but then I got the goofy report. So I'm already behind, and I think they charge like $30 a month that you're late. So he said, I can extend your time. And he said, are you going to come back and try it again in a week, or what do you want to do? Which way do you want to go? And I said, well, let's just say I'm going to go to get it looked at, because I don't think it's going to change between now and a week from now. I don't think it's going to change. And so he extended me for 4 months. I have until December to get the test done now. So the old procrastinator Craig would have said, oh, okay, we'll worry about this in a couple of months. But I'm not going to do that. I'm probably going to call the mechanic and see what they can do, if they can look at it, see if it sounds like something that they are aware of. I told him, I said, I haven't had, I mean, I had work done back in January, I think, but nothing, or maybe even December. It's been a long time since I had work done on the car. Like, I'm due for an oil change. That was the other thing it was going through my mind. I'm like, I got to go get an oil change. So I might as well just, when I go in, tell them to look at it. But I don't understand why they can't, like, as a backup, there's got to be something they can do, because older cars don't have that computer thing in them, I don't think. It's that little, it goes by like OU or OI or UI, or there's some kind of connection thing that they call it. It's underneath your dashboard. I think most cars have it now. It's kind of on the left-hand side, under the dash. So like if you have oh look, they're setting up for that church thing. They do. I think they do that almost every Saturday. It's under the dash. So like if that's the spot where a lot of cars have the pull for the hood is right there on the left-hand side. So it's sort of next to that. And it's a little connector, maybe 2 inches long. Looks like something that connects to the back of your computer, same kind of thing. And all they do is plug this device into it, and it reads, who knows what it reads. It probably has the history of everything you've done in the car. Anyway, so it didn't have something. But that's my story with the emissions. So it's still not done. I wish it was done, but back in the old days, man, they just stuck something up your tailpipe. Yesterday. So I didn't get home until like almost 3. So I left the bakery probably like 2:15. Did the emissions thing. No, it was after 3. It was a little after 3. So of course at that time, AJ's probably going into a panic. He's like, it's almost time to eat. I can see him thinking this, you know. It's almost time to eat and he's not here yet. What am I going to do? Is he ever coming back? I love that. Some YouTube video or something I saw one time where you got all the dogs like.
Air007 says, good morning Craig, I got an emergency alert on my phone last night as we have wildfires in my area, a bit scary. Hope you are doing well today, my friend.
Wow, good morning Chris. I'm doing good. That's a little scary. Is it one of those things where like the alerts we get on our phones scare the heck out of me, because they make like a loud alarm noise before they, then they pop up the message. But that's pretty scary. So that's a result of your lack of rain, I guess. Everything's dry over there. Have you ever had that before? Like, is that something that happens occasionally, or is that a...
Chris Ayers 007 says cool, and yeah, it makes the same noise as the ones you get for tornadoes and other emergencies. I thought World War III was happening long.
Yeah, exactly. It is. It's like that. It's rather upsetting, actually. It's not a good way to wake up if you do it. If it happens when you're asleep, it's not a good way to wake up. It is kind of amazing that they can make everybody's phone do that, though. You ever thought about that? Like, it's the one time that it becomes quite obvious how connected the government is to your daily life.
Ayers 007 says first time I've ever had it happen, and weird thing is my alerts are off, but somehow I still got it, haha, and yeah, good alarm clock, lol.
Oh yeah, I think even if you turn all your notifications and alarm stuff off, I think that happens no matter what. You can't stop it. I'm pretty sure. At least I've never been aware of a way to stop it. It's mostly weather stuff, though. You're right about that. It's like tornadoes. I was trying to think. I think we get them sometimes for, like, we have something called an Amber Alert. So if a child has been abducted, and it happens so rarely that I don't know what makes it happen one time versus another. Like, I'm sure children are abducted more often than you get this alarm, if you know what I mean. But I've gotten that before too, like an Amber Alert type of thing. And an Amber Alert is just like, you know, they usually have like a car, if they know the vehicle that was used to take the child, they'll give you a license plate number type of thing, so everybody's out.
007 says, yeah, there's a setting in developer options on my phone to turn them off, but it did not work. The thing is, it will give silly kids an idea to start fires now, as kids did that in France.
Oh, really? Yeah, I never thought about that. So the kids get excited because now they can do something that's going to send out that alarm to everybody. That's pretty crazy. Well, how far away are I mean, do you smell smoke and stuff? Is it that bad? Or are you close? I don't mean that bad. Any fire is bad, but are you close enough that it's like you can smell the smoke or anything like that? That guy's driving was very odd. He's from Texas. The guy's license plate is from Texas. Oh, we got horses. Horses, they're in there too, I can see them.
There's 007 says, we had a bad fire here last year. Someone set fire to the battery recycling center near me, and I had to leave my home at 2 a.m. and drive to middle of nowhere to get away from the smoke.
Ooh,
Chris Ayers 007 says nearest wildfire to me is around 10 miles away. I can smell an acrid smell in the air this morning, but not too bad yet. Chris Ayers 007 says drunk driver there law.
Yeah, I know, wasn't he? Alright, so you guys probably can't see it, but there definitely are horses in this truck. Okay, I'll try to follow him for a little bit. Can you see them moving around in there? The one on the right's looking out the window right now. Like, hey, where are we going? The one on the left just said, hey, this is pretty cool. Like, we don't have to run or anything. Look at how fast we're going, and we don't have to do anything. We just stand here, and we're running.
There's 007 says, yeah, I see the horses cool.
That's pretty cool. Car just went by. The one on the left's like, hey, check this out. I want to get one of them. All right, I should probably move along. Oh, there's a big horse butt. I saw a big horse butt. Oh, there's actually like 5 horse. I think there's 4 or 5 horses in that truck. That thing was huge. That's got to be a really weird thing to drive, right? I mean, I got a couple hundred donuts in the van, and I got to worry about them shifting around, but I can't imagine driving multiple horses. And you know how, like, it must, if the horses move around in the back a little bit, you got to feel that sway a little. Pretty crazy.
Chris Ayers 007 says, yeah, I am used to horses as live in Ascot lol, and you have to drive really slow with horses in the back, otherwise they can panic and hurt themselves.
Yeah, I would think so. It was Mr. Ed. Did you ever have the show Mr. Ed over in the UK? Did you ever see that? It was a horse that talked. I don't think I ever really watched it. Like, I probably did a little bit, but I couldn't tell you anything about the show other than there was a talking horse in it, you know what I mean? Like, I don't remember any, like, I don't know what they did. I don't know if he was like a crime fighter, comedian. I don't know what he did. How he used his talent of speech to make the world a better place. do you feel like with the fires being that close that you're in like
There's 007
likelihood
says,
of-
lol, never heard of that show, we'll have to check it out, haha.
The theme for the show is a classic. It's like a horse is a horse, of course it was. Of course the, and then I don't remember all the words, but that was the basic tune was a horse is a horse, of course. Da 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 da, Mr. Ed. Something like that. The guy driving the truck back there with the horses attached to it probably knows the theme song.
There's 007 says, I am in danger with those wildfires as I have a forest next to my apartment block, so only takes one fire to set the whole forest ablaze.
Oh, that's not good. Is the fire department fairly good at taking care of the fire?
Compared to us fire service, we have no aircraft here to do water drops, for example. They don't even have choppers.
Yeah. I've never seen that around in my area, but I know that's a big way that they fight them. Mostly out west, California and stuff. I mean, I guess they do that here too, but I've never seen it. Oh, I didn't win the lottery. I checked it yesterday. I think the Powerball number was 9.
There's 007 says, yeah. Chris Ayers 007 says, also I've been doing my research on Richie Blackmore. He lives in Port Jefferson in New York State and it makes Beverly Hills look like a poor area, lol, so upper class. He owns his own castle there.
Oh, wow.
There's 007 says, sorry you did not win the lottery, Craig. No castle for you yet, mate, lol.
Not yet. That's right. Well, the thing about being in a wealthy neighborhood, like in New York or someplace where you don't expect it, is then you're getting a really large, primo piece of property.
There's 007 says, but with 200 million in the bank, it's no surprise the guy has a castle lol.
Yeah, really. Why not, you know? But like in California, it's so expensive that, you know, you don't get quite as much land. It's more location than it is, you know, you're paying for the location as much as you are paying for the property, the size and the extravagant building.
There's 007 says, yeah, I noticed that, but I would never live in California if I had the money, as the Dems have ruined that state sadly.
Yeah, that state is having a tough time. It's a great state. I mean, you know, it's beautiful out there. I used to travel out there a lot. We had clients that I had to visit. So I spent, and usually I'd try to attach a couple of days, maybe a weekend or something to the trip, so I could explore places like that. San Diego is very nice. Wasn't crazy about LA. LA is, I don't know, it's too, it's a city. I mean, it's definitely a city, and the beaches, I guess, are kind of nice, but I like San Diego. For a long time, I thought San Francisco is a nice location with some good sights. That's where I saw, the first time I went to like a redwood forest. There's one right north of San Francisco I went to.
There's 007 says, I mean, I was there when Obama was in power and it was fine back then from 2012 to 2013 when I was there, but nowadays it is dangerous.
Yeah, and just, well, I think the media plays up the uncleanliness of it, let's put it that way. It just looks kind of run down. But I wonder sometimes if that's not, some of it's played up by the media. All right, here we go. We are at Lenny's. Let's get that rack. There's one guy in there. I see his bag, so he must be in there. Still got his coat on. Must have just gotten here. Good morning. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good.
Good morning. Kind of cool.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Like that cool breeze.
I know. We haven't had this summer. Been too bad, really. Like, it hasn't been too hot this year.
Off and on.
Yeah, man. Four cake pops. They've got 4 cake pops on display. Oh, it says display only. Oh, you know why? That's one of each type of cake pop. So Bob asked me today, he's like, are they running? What do their cake pops look like? But I don't think they put out all of their cake pops. So I gotta remember to say that to Bob. He was asking me today, he's like, has Lenny's gotten any cake pops lately? And those you could definitely, those stay for a while, and if you put them in the refrigerator, they're good for a long time, which it looks like that's probably what they did. Because last week, earlier, they got like 42, which one day, I knew they got a big order one day, and I'm like, yeah, Bob, I think they have a lot of cake pops. They just don't put them all out. All right, here we go. Whoop! Guess what? Sign's still out. Lenny's Deli. I think today I'm going to use the horses. I'm going to try to get a clip of the horses. That's going to be my thumbnail today. Just decided. Come on, let's flip. There we go. That's my hair. All right, Lenny's like that, right there, boom, boom. Okay. All right, I got a box for the gourmet girls. Start. They got 75 chocolate chip cookies and 42 Danishes. So there's 75. Well, it's not all 75 right there. We got a few more on the other tray. And now we begin. We begin the Danish 12 at a time. 12. How many did I say? 36 plus 42. 42. So that's 24. 36. And then the multi-tray. We've got, here we got 6 Danish, 3 croissants, 1 apple turnover, 2 apple fritters, and 4 donuts. All right, now, last but not least, let me do with that for a second. Let's put you there for a second. The rest of the chocolate top cookies, we got the raspberry cookies, and we've got the rainbow cakes. Two halves. 2 halves. Two halves don't make a whole. I think that's 2 rights don't make a wrong. Looks delicious. Thank you. Yes, I will let our bakers know. And she was very busy making donuts this morning. We have 174 going to WhatADay. And then we have an order at the bakery. We have an order for 150. Like one person is buying 150 donuts at the bakery today. I'm not sure what time they're picking them up. There's a lot of activity in here, a lot of activity. All right, you two. Hold on, gourmet girls. There we go. Actually, I'll leave them there. I don't need to do that. I was going to say there's 3 trays for WhatADay on the laid out in the back, but I could just leave them there. It doesn't hurt anything. All right. Oh, you know what? While we're here, I'm going to remember this time. Wipe the windshield off. I don't think it's going to be great looking, but it'll be better. There we go, that's better. It was like a... Alright, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. This is as good as we're gonna do right now. Alright. Off to Gourmet Girls to drop off our 24 chocolate top cookies. You know what? I should have gone out the other way. Oh well, it doesn't matter. There's not enough traffic today to really worry about it. I usually I use this light, but if the traffic's really light, I can go out the other side, and I didn't do it. I didn't do it.
Alma's 5672 says hey Craig. Chris Ayers 007 says good morning at Deborah Alma's 5672 welcome in.
Good morning, Deborah. How are you? Happy Saturday.
Alma's 5672 says hi Chris. Driving Daily sent me.
Oh. He's not still on, is he? I think he was on, like, for some reason, what did I looked at something and it looked like he might have still been on this morning. Like, I get up at 2:30, so I was probably looking at my phone at like 3 o'clock. Maybe sometime around there. He's usually off by then. That's a pretty late night for him if he was still on.
Alma's 5672 says till 3 a.m. this morning.
Oh, was he?
Chris Ayers 007 says awesome Deborah, I watch Driving Daily.
I used to watch him all the time, and then he started going later, and now I'm in bed by the time. Usually by the time he starts, I'm already in bed now. So I'm asleep when he's driving, and he's asleep while I'm driving. I try to catch up with some of his replays sometimes. Because sometimes you can keep up with what's going on. He does that wrap up at the end. I can't do that because I usually have to get into the bakery and start, get things going. But if you watch the first 5 or 10 minutes of a replay, and the end can vary. Sometimes it's 15 minutes, sometimes an hour and a half. But he'll, when he sits at the end and chats. We are in the middle of our deliveries at the moment. So I had 3 deliveries to make today. We just finished the first one. That was Lenny's Deli. And usually we don't always go to this cafe on the weekends, but they must have been getting short on these chocolate top cookies. So they're so close to that place that it's pretty easy to just drop stuff off if we need to. So you were part of the driving mafia, I believe. Now we're at the Gourmet Girls. This is sort of a cafe, but also like a market. They have kind of a market in there. I don't know if they have tables. I've never seen tables. I walked around in there a little bit.
Alma's 5672 says yes, sir. Deborah Alma's 5672 says where is the donut shop?
The donut shop that I work with is in Hampstead, Maryland. It's called Bertuco's. And so Hampstead is about 20, maybe 25 miles northwest of Baltimore.
Morgan says good morning everyone.
Morgan, good morning. All right, let me run these cookies in. I mean, yeah, cookies. Chocolate top. Ah, door's locked. Let me call her. I'll call her. I believe they are not. This lady wouldn't be expecting me on a Saturday.
There's 007 says, "Morning Morgan, welcome in."
Deborah, I'm going to change your name to Deborah. Here we go. Now, Deborah B. R. A. H. Deborah. Let's see if she does that right. All right, let's see how that works. Fine, Gourmet Girls. When was the last time I called? I haven't called them in a long time.
Deborah says, "Hey Morgan."
Ah, see, we got you fixed, Deborah. Now she doesn't say your number and everything. All right, let's go with... Let's look it up. Just WhatADay. Let's give it a shot. Oh, I'm sorry. I called the wrong... It's Craig. I'm sorry, it's Craig. I called the wrong number. I'll be up there in a little bit.
Oh, no.
All right.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
All right, bye.
All right, bye.
That's where we're going next. Hold on. That was dumb. I got WhatADay on my mind. Hold on. I'm sitting here wondering, why isn't she picking up the phone? All right. Gourmet Girls, come here.
There's 007 says, "Law."
I know. She's probably, what a goofball calling us up. Gourmet Girls, here we go. Now we got it. Now we got it. I'm like, wait a minute, the person that picked up the phone was... For this one, we just get an... Hola! Hey, it's Craig. I'm out back.
Oh my God, so it's Saturday?
I know! You guys need cookies or something. All right. See ya. There you are. There you are.
I like it though because
I know. Look,
nobody coming only today. Only one bite?
just one box. Yeah, like 24 cookies or something.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going up the street a little bit. Cake pops.
Oh my God. Donuts?
Oh yeah, you should see what's in the cabinet. Come here, look at this. Oh. Look at all that.
Oh my God. This is for Dunkin' Donuts?
We made them.
My God, I know.
Yeah.
So good.
That goes up to Eldersburg.
So good.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't know.
I got it.
Good.
Yeah, I don't know why. They must have called in and said we need 24 chocolate top cookies.
24?
24 cookies.
Maybe for August.
Maybe. Monday, yeah. I'll be back. All right. Well, that was Elsa, if you could hear her. She's feeling kind of spunky today. All right. Gourmet Girl's done. 6:05. We're on our way to WhatADay. On our way to WhatADay. Just a little update. Look, to fix this. We don't have that orange reflection in the window anymore. We've given Rosie a new outfit. That's the speaker that Rosie comes through, by the way, just in case anybody's curious. That is Rosie. Yeah, so John has the same text to speech.
007 says, cool Craig, well done clearing the orange reflection away, lol.
There you go.
Now
See
Donna
that?
says, morning all.
Donna, good morning. But John has it set up so that he can hear that voice in his ear. I let it play in the car. So now we're headed to WhatADay.
There's 007 says at Donaku 594, good morning, good to see you. Now Donna says, caught a little bit of John last night.
I saw that he was on. He was on very late. And then I caught like a second of, like, did he do, did he venture off and do like one of the other, like Uber Eats or one of those things? Did he? Try something?
Donna says tried to do Uber Eats. Chris Ayers 007 says he's usually on too late for me nowadays as I am in the UK, so the time zone difference is crazy. It's like 10 p.m. here when he gets started.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and see, I go to bed at like 8 o'clock. So that's what happened to me. I used to watch him all the time. I used to be on his, I'd usually catch the beginning of it. And then I went through a period where I was not watching my sleep like I should. And I would stay up until like maybe 10 o'clock. But I can't really do that. That's a little too late. But it's nice being on the road in the evenings or at night, or in the mornings, early mornings. I think he's driving all day, but he just comes on, he just does the live stream in the evening now, which is kind of smart.
Donna says I replay beginning and end sometimes. Chris Ayers 007 says yeah, sleep is important, try to get at least 6 hours rest each night. Now Donna says John has so much energy.
Yeah, if you ever notice, when he gets out and does a delivery, he's usually like almost running. Like, I don't think I've ever seen him like walk slowly. Stroll. I don't think that's a possibility. He doesn't stroll. Well, maybe if he's taping. That might be the only time he has to walk slowly. Is if he was like recording video, he might have to walk slowly.
There's 007 says yeah, got to keep that perfect delivery record.
Alright, that's interesting. I wonder if we'll see a deer down here. I've seen many deer today, not on this up. There's one over in the field over there. There's a school. I did see a deer right over there. It is crazy. Today I think I've seen like 10 deer. 8 to 10. That was mostly on my way up to the bakery though. Donna, we were following a truck that had horses earlier. I think you couldn't really see from the back, which was most of our view. You could see that there were like at least a couple in there, but I think he had like 4 or 5 horses in this big trailer.
Donna says they had to get up early too, lol.
Yeah, that's true. If you think about it, they were already loaded in the truck and they're riding along the highway at 5:30 in the morning, 5:45. I think they were on their way to Starbucks. Area. This is where we've seen deer like several times in the past. I got my eyes out. I got my eyes out for them. This time of year, you see all the little ones. They're so cute. They like still, when they're little, they still have the spots on them. I don't know if those spots have a name. They seem to disappear when they get bigger. They're like the opposite of humans. You know, humans are born completely clear and we get spots when we get older.
Donna says yes, fawns are super cute.
Deer are the other way around. They get born with dots, spots, and they come back later and they lose them.
Morgan says I tried to entice one to get in my car the other day. It didn't work.
That would be pretty tricky. I think you should start with the house first. You know, like open a door. If you have a garage, that would be easy. Oh, well, here we go. Guy's walking his dog. This would have been a donut opportunity right here.
Morgan says I got it to come maybe 5/6 of a foot away, but then it ran.
Really? You got it? What were you enticing it with? Did you have a carrot or something? Did you have a donut? They seem less afraid of people. I will say that. Like, they're becoming less skittish. I mean,
Morgan says birdseed and berries.
Oh, birdseed and berries. You were just like holding it out in your hand. I'm picturing like Little Red Riding Hood. You're like in the woods holding your berries out. I hear they like hot dogs. I need to just do it. Morgan, I'm going to have to like get maybe 5 cookies and just put them in a little plastic bag, you know, separate.
There's 007 says I get crazy birds at my window each day. Those jackdaw birds, very intelligent they are. Now Morgan says I do always have those. Oh.
Throw a couple of them out the window as you drive by. Do your birds, do they make a lot of noise? Chris, you know, some birds, if they're by your window, they can be very boisterous.
Chris007 says they just make noise when they want food, lol.
Do you have a bird feeder? Oh, now, you know what? They'll eat the bread. Do they eat the bread that you put out for the squirrels? No, I know they do, actually. I've seen it. I've seen a bird walking around down by the bread.
Chris007 says I just leave bread or biscuits out for them on window ledge and they eat that.
Yeah, they like bread. That's a good thing. All right, this guy's got to come over. It's almost like he doesn't know it yet. It's going to happen. All of a sudden, he'll be like, oh, my lane ends. I better move. Here we go. Let's wait till the very last second. There we go. Good. Yesterday, I went down the rabbit hole with Speed Racer. So there was a cartoon series. I would imagine you've probably heard of it. Speed Racer. Came out in the 60s. I think it actually only was out for like 2 years, but it was very widely known. So yesterday I saw a short that Holla created. I think he posted it yesterday afternoon. And he used a song in the background that was like Speed Racer. It was a modern version of the theme song for the Speed Racer show. So then I had to go pull up the original Speed Racer theme song, which I did. And they had a couple episodes. I didn't watch any of the episodes, but you can pretty much watch Speed Racer on YouTube if you wanted to. But one thing I didn't realize is Speed Racer was actually, I was watching that when I was little. It was one of my favorite cartoons. Or at least I've always thought of it that way. Maybe it really wasn't. But I did like it. But it was kind of, I don't want to say violent, but there was a lot of the cars were killing people and doing crazy stuff. There was a car that if somebody was sitting in it, if they drank water, it would do something to them and they would end up crashing and stuff. I don't know, it was crazy. They had some crazy themes going with that show. But I think I was 4 or 5 years old watching it. I was probably just looking at the pictures. And I think the show came out in color, but I don't think I had a color TV in the 60s. I think I was still watching it on black and white TV. The only time we would see color TV was when every year we went to the beach for a week. Mom would take us to Ocean City, Maryland, and the motel that we stayed in had color TV. I remember that being a big deal. We'd go to the beach, and one of the things that we thought was really exciting was that the TV was color. sounds like I grew up in the Middle Ages, but that really, I remember that. I think that's why, like, whenever I think of history, like if I think of World War II, or if I think of things in the past, to me, it's black and white. That is the way I visualize most of history. I kind of vision it as a black and white world. Like, I think if I had the ability to go back in time, the thing that would surprise me the most is that everything's in color. I mean, aside from the fact that I was back in time, that would be kind of weird, but once I got settled on that, then I would be just like amazed that it would, because it would feel very normal.
There's 007 says, I seen an old photo of a catalog from the 90s and color TVs were very expensive in 1991. Here they cost $400 for a 26-inch TV that is around $1,400 in today's money.
Yeah, they were very expensive. You're right. Yeah, so you have to be rich to have a color TV. You did. And they were huge. Well, I think it's pretty crazy how inexpensive TVs are now. Like, that is the one thing. I mean, they were very, very expensive when they first came out, but now you can get a pretty decent size flat screen TV, good quality, for like a couple $100. It's ridiculous. I like it, but it is kind of crazy how low the prices are for TVs. I mean, a phone, your cell phone is probably more expensive than a good TV.
There's 007 says, I was so poor I got given the black and white TV lol, but I used it to play my Sega Master System games on, so it had its use. I did not get a color TV of my own until like 10 years later lol.
Oh, I thought I was really cool. When I was little, I don't remember, I guess my mom or my older brother bought me a little black and white TV. It was probably 15-inch screen. It was a little thing that I sat in my room. So I had a TV in my room when I was little. And I thought that was really cool. A 24 inch is a pretty good sized TV. Back in those days, that was a good size. Because I think even the TV that we had in our living room which was
Chris
actually
Ayers 007 says yeah, the screens on them were so small back then. The crazy thing is I am watching this show on my 24-inch PC monitor that is full HD and 120 Hz and it only cost me 30 lol.
yeah, isn't that crazy? I don't understand how that happened. I mean, while everything else was getting more expensive, TVs for some reason went down. And TV monitor and screens like that. But yeah, the big TV in our living room, which was like a console, you know, so it's a big piece of furniture. Basically, it's a TV inside like a wood cabinet. That was the way they came. And I think the screen was like 27 inches or something. It was not big. And the aspect ratio or whatever that is was more, I think it was 4:3 or something, if that sounds right. You know, like today it's more like a movie dimension. Back in those days, that was the dimension.
Ayers 007 says yeah, and it's not a cheap brand, it's an MSI gaming monitor. I got it in one of those Black Friday sales last year and I remember the wooded TVs, they look so outdated now, haha.
Yeah, they do. They do. And they took up so much room.
Ayers 007 says I think my parents had a Zenith TV and they did not own it, lol. You had to rent a large TV back then as they cost way too much to buy.
Really? Yeah, I don't think we ever rented. I think in Europe, I think you do rent more stuff than we do. Like, do you rent, or maybe it was in the past, like even appliances and things like that, refrigerators and stuff like that? We
Ayers 007 says yeah, it was only like $5 a month back then, lol. Now Donna says I have free TV and hardly watch any of them. Chris, one of them is a Zenith. Chris Ayers 007 says not nowadays, no one rents appliances, only things like cars and smartphones now.
okay.
007 says cool at Donaku 594.
Yeah, I remember Zenith. I don't think we had our big TV was an RCA. I remember that. And the little TV that I had in my room was a Sony. I think it was a Sony. It was either a Sony or a Panasonic. Is Panasonic still around? You don't hear so much about them anymore. Do they still exist? I bought a lot of Sony stuff in my life.
Donna says Zenith still works great.
But like all my audio equipment and stuff, anything I bought, I used to always buy Sony. Remember Sony Walkmans? I had one. I don't want to. I don't want to call WhatADay again.
There's 007 says I don't think Panasonic exists anymore. I know Philips does though. Now Donna says Panasonic makes battery.
Oh. Oh look, they came. They opened the door. Batteries. All right, here we go. Oh look, Chris, we got a couple trails up there, see? Not many. Couple. I don't have any, what you call it? I don't have any cross.
There's 007 says lol chemtrails.
Yeah. I thought you'd like that. But I don't have any that make a pattern. Oh, by the way, so here's what we got. Oh, look, they're getting cake pops. That's not common for WhatADay. I don't know if they're trying them out or if they're just... So the cabinet is full of donuts, all the donuts, and then that's everything else. Mini Danish. But yeah, Chris, we don't have any that do the cross pattern.
There's 007 says awesome, the donuts always look great.
Here we go. Let's pop you over there. I think I still have a VCR. I have a VCR because I still have like home movies that are on, that we recorded on VHS tapes that I've got to get them uploaded onto a computer, Boston Cream. So we got the cream filled, the Boston Cream. Oh, look what she did there. See how that's Boston Cream and then 2 glazed? This was creamy cream and 2 glazed. Interesting. And this is all glazed. All glazed. They do degrade. And I think I'm still okay. The last time I looked at them, they still looked okay, but you're right, they do degrade. I keep mine in a, that's the chocolate frosted and the butterfinger. I think I have them downstairs like in a plastic storage container. So they're downstairs, they don't really get exposed to much heat or, you know what I mean? They're kind of, I think it's the best place to keep them, but I do want to, look at these. These look good. M&Ms. There's a theme. Have you noticed that like all of the trays that she put together this morning, there's like mostly donuts of one type and then 2 of another. All right, here we go. Oreos, Fruity Pebbles, maple, and strawberry. And then the end of the donuts, we have Oreos and some jelly filled. And all the jelly filled have a little bit of goodness oozing out of them. See that? It's almost like you've been to a stabbing, a donut stabbing. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, that's gonna be tricky. All right, mini Danish. Mini Danish coming in. Cinnamon buns, cronuts. I think earlier, who was it? Oh, it was Elsa. When Elsa was looking in the van, because I was showing her my goodies down at Gourmet Girls. She pointed this, she said, oh, buns and donuts? I didn't get into the story about cronuts versus donuts. We'll save that for another time. And then we've got the Danish and 8 cake pops. 2 of each kind. So there they are, the cake pops. They're getting 2 of each kind. I'm not sure if that's an experiment, special order, I'm not sure. All right, here we go. Donuts are going in. Shoot in, come here, come here, come here. Hey! There we go. Good morning.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. All right. Hey, sorry for calling you earlier.
See ya.
See ya.
Anything else? Alright, can I get you know what you
All right, what are we doing? Here we go. All right, WhatADay is done. All of our deliveries have been made. We got plenty of gas. We don't need gas. So we're headed back to the bakery. Turn the lights out. Nobody's in the drive-thru. We got a light flashing over there, if you can see it. Sporty little Honda over there.
Donna says, and like guys bond with sports, lots of women watch them. Except people have strong opinions to can get continuous.
What are we talking about? Sports? What sport are we talking about? I don't really watch a lot of sports myself. NASCAR. I watch NASCAR. Motorsports.
Now Donna says argumentative.
What did I miss? What did I miss?
Donna says was saying that men watch and talk about sports and many women talk about true crime trials.
Speaking of trials, there are a couple things going on yesterday, weren't there? Like I noticed there was the one with the guy, the Carolinas, Murdoch. Is that how you say his last name? So he's going back on trial. And then they had the guy in New York. That wasn't really a trial, though. He just went to court and pleaded guilty. Manzoni, I don't. But the guy that killed the health insurance CEO. I noticed that yesterday while I was listening to that while I was working. Oh, Donna, I've watched several clips of that guy you mentioned the other day, Jet. Caught up on I'd never heard of him before. You mentioned him.
Air 007 says okay at Donaku 594 only crime trials I used to watch was Judge Judy Law a long time ago.
Oh yeah, I watched Judge Judy. I know I watched Judge Wapner, People's Court, because I even mentioned it on my journal audio, my audio journal that I made.
Donna says he did a good interview with Chris Williams.
Yeah, I didn't watch that. I would probably listen to that while I was working, except Chris Williams. He drops too many F-bombs, so I don't like to have that. I mean, personally, I don't like it, but I also don't want to have. There are several young people working at the bakery. I don't want them walking back and hearing him go off, because he doesn't do it one at a time. He does it like a sentence will have 3 or 4 F-bombs in it sometimes. And there's no reason for it. I don't understand why people do that. Like, it's actually not good. But they do it anyway.
Donna says, yeah, I know what you mean.
But so after you said something, I looked it up. I think it was like 2 or 3 days ago you had mentioned it. Maybe it was Wednesday. And so I checked them out. And the first couple that I watched, I was like, I like it, they didn't seem to come off like super positive, but I've seen a couple since. So yeah, I'm gonna watch some of his stuff and see what I think. Like, I like to walk away from a video feeling upbeat and positive. And after a couple of his that I watched, I definitely didn't have that feeling. But I think it was the one he did yesterday, maybe? He always has a very attention-grabbing title on his videos, that's for sure. He's quite good at creating.
Donna says, yeah, maybe he is talking to young people, but that's where I learned about ghost job postings.
Oh yeah, I saw that one. I don't know if I completely believe that, but I think that was one of them that I was thinking, I think he comes in pretty hard on some of that stuff, and I don't know if I don't know if I believe all of that stuff. But I will say I've seen more since, and I do think he's got pretty good content. Like
Donna says New York State is passing legislation on it.
Yeah, but you know, even in all of time, companies will frequently put a job posting. They're required to post a job, even if sometimes they may have somebody already in mind. It's just the way that that's always worked that way. The trick is you got to be the person that they have in mind. That's the way to beat that. Get an in on the company, you know what I mean? If you want to work somewhere.
Donna says now it is to a whole nother level and other states will probably follow.
Yep, there's a deer on the left. See him standing up there? Just grazing.
Donna says companies want to collect people info.
I don't know about that. I mean, I'm not saying none of them.
Donna says it is deceptive advertising.
Squirrel. Squirrel. Go! Oh my God. He kept stopping. I mean, I guess the reason I hesitate believing some of that stuff is because I've been...
Donna says if you want, look up NY Ghost Job Bill.
Yeah, I mean, I don't...
Now Donna says I'll leave it there.
I don't doubt it, but I've been on the other side of that, right? Like I've worked at very large corporations that are posting jobs. I've been the person who had an open, you know what I mean? Like I've been in the middle of all that.
007 says lucky squirrel lol.
I know, right? I couldn't believe he kept stopping. Just my experience in that world didn't show those issues like that. Yes, that squirrel, I didn't think he was going to... I was afraid he was going to turn around and come back into the lane.
Donna says also found proof we did go to moon.
Oh, well, I never doubted that. What do you mean you found proof? That wasn't real. I never really doubted that one. I know people do. But what proof did you find, or did someone find?
Donna says moon rocks are unique.
Oh. That's a good point. You know, I mean, not that that's a debate I have very often, but sometimes I have had conversations with people who question whether we went to the moon. And I've never thought about that one. I mean, I know we have moon rocks. I mean, it was a pretty crazy accomplishment. I will hand it to him. I can understand why some people don't believe it, but I was there. I was sitting in front of my black and white TV.
There's 007 says supermarkets with those digital savings cards, they track you. As one time I had an issue in Tesco. I phoned up and they were able to track the time I paid at checkout for my goods and know it was me. Chris Ayers 007 says I don't think we went to the moon as the so-called moon rocks were petrified wood. Ask the Dutch royal family as they took the time to get them checked out. My friend is a scientist, he calls BS on it.
We got a denier. Chris. No, I think we did go to the moon. I do. I mean, I think it's pretty crazy that we haven't gone back. You know, I think the longer that you go with us not going back, the fact that we haven't gone back is certainly a reason why I can see people would doubt it, but I think we went.
Donna says, oh no.
I mean, I think Tang is proof enough. I mean, Chris, have you ever had Tang? you have to do is drink Tang, and you're gonna know.
Bear007 says my friend Fry takes it one step further lol he thinks the earth is flat haha but on a serious note watch the documentary by Bart Sibrel called A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon.
Yeah. I know, there are people that think the world is flat. I mean, I don't doubt the fact that we're told things that aren't true, or we're told, I mean, all you have to do is look at COVID.
Bear007 says he found the so-called lost live footage of the Australian live moon landing broadcast and in it you see the Apollo team faking it to make it look like they were further away from Earth. Now Donna says President Nixon even recoded something in case things went wrong.
I don't know. I think we're there. Well, I mean, but look at all the satellites and things that we have, right? Like, do you believe they're up there? So we obviously have the ability to leave the atmosphere. And then I think once you get out there, it's pretty, like, the hard part of the atmosphere, right? Beyond
Donna
that.
says so sorry. Don't want to debate. Chris Ayers007 says there was no stars in the footage or photos, so that's proof enough and the flag moved by a gust of wind lol.
I don't know. Oh, it's very windy on the moon. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. I believe the Earth is round. I believe we went to the moon. And I believe COVID came from a laboratory in China. These three controversial things right there. Boom!
Bear007 says yeah we definitely sent satellites into space and probes to other planets as the Soviets put a craft on Venus but as for sending humans to the moon I don't think that happened. Chris Ayers007 says lol Craig.
We're just going to have to disagree on that one. Do you think we're headed back? Well, you don't think we're headed back, but you know they're trying to go again. Do you think that's really happening? Or do you think they're just doing another show? I promise, I'll drop it after that.
Donna says we should agree to disagree. Chris Ayers007 says the kicker for me is the radiation in space when you get out of the magnetic field is so bad it would fry us like food in a microwave. I think we have the tech now but it will be very risky.
Alright. Well, I think that'll be like a couple years from now, so we'll
Bear007 says at Donaku 594 yeah.
We'll revisit the topic the next time we go up. Oh, did you see that little animal? That was a straddle. You know, when there's a dead animal in the road, you have two choices. You can swerve or you can straddle. We straddled that one. Guy on the bike. Guy on the bike.
007 says lol, yeah, good idea, Craig.
Speaking of the moon, we've got a total lunar eclipse coming up at the end of this month, 27th. Don't you think it's kind of amazing that the sun and the moon are basically, because of the distance, that they're the same size? Like that's just amazing to me. Like when you look at them, they're the exact same size. Oh yeah, relatively. I mean, you have to wonder, like hundreds of years ago, what people were thinking when a solar eclipse happened, right? If they were like standing around one afternoon and they're like, yeah, what's going on? And they're like, hey, it's getting dark. What's going on? And the moon blocks out the sun for a minute. Like, what would you think?
There's 007 says cool enough eclipse, and yeah, that is weird. They line up perfectly like that. And next one is, when will it ever rain again in the UK? Lol, still 100 degrees here.
Well, that's true. Yeah, you do need some rain. Well, see, I thought it was always kind of cloudy and rainy, right? Like, not always, but at least the reputation I knew was that it was a pretty rainy place.
Now Doc says, Chris, I hope you get rain soon. There's 007 says, yeah, last night was so hot in my apartment I literally woke up with my mouth so dry like I had been in a desert, haha, and thanks at Donaku594.
We might need to be talking about an air conditioner. They've got to paint the lines on this road.
There's 007 says, I am still trying to get my teeth sorted too, waiting for the hospital to pull their finger out and get me booked in, as at moment I've got multiple broken teeth, so it scares people away sadly.
Yeah. Teeth are a pain in the butt. They really are, though. I've definitely had my share of dental work done. Do you have to pay for dental work? Like, how does that work? in the UK. Is it expensive? It's very expensive. Well, standard dental care isn't too bad, but when you get into anything beyond the basics, it starts to get very expensive, unless you have dental insurance. And even then, dental insurance doesn't always cover a lot. Back at the bakery. 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven. Time to get a Slurpee. They have all these hiring signs. The Dollar Tree is hiring. Anybody's interested. They don't have a great reputation though for their as being a good place to work. They're kind of a fun place to shop sometimes, but not a good place to work. And it's misleading now because really the Dollar Tree is now really like the $1.25 tree. I think they've raised the price on just about everything to $1.25 or something like that. All right, everybody, we made it. Another successful delivery day.
Airs 007 says my uncle had bad luck with his teeth too, and it made him a very mean person, as in his case he had an accident and fell and broke his teeth, so had to have dentures, and it's free dental care here, Craig.
Oh, it's
Chris
free.
Airs 007 says if I went to a private dentist here it would cost $6 grand to pull my teeth out and make partial clip-in dentures. Chris Airs 007 says hope your weekend goes well, Craig, and at Donaku 594 catch you on the next live stream. Now Donna
All right,
says have a
guys.
great day all.
Yes, have a good day. Well, and teeth problems too, they can be painful too. Like dentures, that kind of stuff, that can make people kind of less comfortable. So I can understand why sometimes they're not happy. All right, guys, have a good day. Enjoy it. And I'll be back tomorrow at 6 o'clock, Sunday. But yeah, appreciate everybody hanging out with me. And I will see you again. Be good.